Am I the jerk for not inviting my brother and sister-in-law over because of what happened at the last family gathering? At our last big family gathering, there was an argument between myself and my brother's wife. I was in charge of making up leftover plates for anyone to take home if they wanted. I gave John, my brother, and Lucy, his wife, 3 plates of food, including the leftovers of the dishes they brought with them. I gave them to John to put in his cooler in his car before they left. The next day, I got a call from Lucy asking if I gave my brother the food, which I said I did. She told me there was only 1 plate that was half empty instead of the 3 plates and 2 Tupperware boxes I had actually given my brother. I was confused and said John took them off the counter, so ask him. John told Lucy I had refused to give them the extra food and kept it for myself. Lucy was not pleased by this and told everyone in our family that I had stolen their food. I maintained my innocence the entire time because this isn't what happened. Lucy took it way too personally. She began to insult my body and weight, saying I didn't need burgers and should have stolen the salad instead, and said she doesn't blame me for stealing because I'm so poor and work a dead-end job. Lucy's animosity didn't stop for over a year, and she would always bring it up any chance she got. I'm the one hosting this year, and I have not invited John or Lucy. When they asked why they didn't receive an invitation, I said, "Are you kidding?" and hung up. Not the most mature, but I was so shocked at their audacity to ask. My brother texted me to suggest a sit-down between myself and Lucy, but I didn't get the point of that since she will always think of me as a villain in this ridiculous story. It was then that my brother confessed that he ate all the missing food in the car and felt so embarrassed by it that he lied to Lucy about me, refusing to give them the food. I was in awe. I knew he had lied, but not the details or why he lied. I told him he's a huge asshole here and he needs to come clean to Lucy now. I guess he did because Lucy then called me, apologizing profusely. She said she had no reason to doubt my brother and she was already feeling left out and an outsider, so she lashed out. I thanked her for her apology but said I didn't forgive her. She said so many awful things to me over 2 missing plates of food. I said they still weren't invited to the gathering and that they are welcome to host their own, which I obviously wouldn't attend. This made my brother really mad. They were on speaker together. A few hours later, I got some texts from our mother telling me to just get over it and invite Lucy and John. I just put my foot down and said if they show up, they won't be let in my home. The whole situation caused a rift in the family. Half are telling me I can't not include my brother, and the other half are saying Lucy is a bitch for her comments. Lucy and John are still very mad. Am I the asshole? You are not the jerk. Your brother is the worst for causing this whole mess and then letting you take the blame for so long. Lucy's apology about the food doesn't excuse the cruel things she said about you. The rest of the family should mind their own business. It's up to them to come to the event or not, but this discussion is closed. Am I the jerk for standing my ground and letting a friendship end because of a bridezilla? I, a 30-year-old female, attended a friend's wedding where my fiancé was a groomsman. The bride and I became close during her wedding planning, talking daily and sharing details. She initially asked me to be a bridesmaid, retracted the offer, asked again, and then retracted it again. As the wedding approached, she relied on me for emotional support, particularly about issues with her maid of honor, who was problematic and almost got kicked out. For context, the Airbnb to the venue is 1 hour, and the bride's house is in the middle. We all stayed in an Airbnb at the bride's request. She asked me to pick up the wedding cake, which was 1 hour from the Airbnb and 2 hours from the venue. I agreed. Later, I was asked to pick up supplies from her house and bring them to the Airbnb, which I also did. While the bridal party was at rehearsal, a friend, Kayla, and I were tasked with setting up a Mamma Mia night for the bride after one bridesmaid ran out of time. However, although Kayla and I were initially told we were invited, when it started, the maid of honor slammed the door on us, saying it was for bridesmaids only. One bridesmaid, Amanda, started making advances toward my fiancé and other married men, saying she didn't care if they were married. Jamie, another friend, overheard this and told Kayla and me. On the wedding day, I helped to decorate the bridal suite, which another bridesmaid failed to do. I also steamed 6 groomsmen's suits since I was the only one with a steamer, and they were all horribly wrinkled. The wedding was poorly organized. No non-alcoholic drinks except water, reused unrinsed cups, and insufficient food, dry cold pasta. The bride ignored Kayla, Jamie, and me the entire time. After the wedding, Amanda continued to make advances. At the I Do BBQ, the bride confronted me in the bathroom. I explained everything, but she dismissed it as a miscommunication. When Amanda continued her inappropriate behavior, I warned the bride I would handle it. Amanda's advances continued, even spreading her legs in front of the men. Many people, including the groom's family and friends, noticed Amanda's behavior and asked us about it. Later, Amanda boxed me in when I tried to talk to my fiancé, exaggerating her reaction when I bumped her with my elbow, throwing herself onto the couch, and spreading her legs in the air while in a dress. The bride cracked and started yelling and screaming at everyone. On Monday, we'd had enough. The bride was yelling at everyone to clean the Airbnb. Kayla, Jamie, and I decided we were done, packed up, didn't help, and waited to say goodbye. The bride ignored my attempt to say goodbye and subsequently blocked us on social media. I was used and taken advantage of throughout this entire friendship. never thanked for everything I did that weekend. My fiance talked to the groom, and apparently, he understands and agrees, but I still haven't gotten an apology from the groom or bride. In the end, the joke is on me. The groom is a groomsman at my wedding, and we still have to invite her. Am I the asshole? I think you are not in the wrong here. Actually, you don't have to invite her, and if the groom hasn't apologized either, then he can be removed as well. Stop letting people take advantage of you. If he is such a good friend, he should be ashamed of what happened. Am I the jerk for yelling at my partner for not helping at night with our newborn? I am a 21-year-old female, and my partner is a 21-year-old male. We are first-time parents. He works around 8 hours a day in construction while I am a stay-at-home mother. We each have our own jobs, and so far it has been working 85% of the time. We decided early in the pregnancy that this was the plan because of how expensive and nerve-wracking childcare can be. But like all first-time parents, we had no idea what to expect with a baby and how postpartum would affect me. Our son is 3 weeks old and has a pretty good schedule at the moment. He wakes up every 3-ish hours for a bottle and diaper change. My body is finally adjusting, so I'm handling it well until a surprise row night happens. This is when our baby is more fussy than usual, scream cries, fights sleep, eats way more than normal, and just rebels against his usual routine. This is when my postpartum anger sets in. I get so angry because I'm tired, can't figure out what the baby needs from me, and I'm going through the motions. Meanwhile, my partner sleeps through everything. I wake him up numerous times saying, "Please tag me out. I'm getting too angry to think straight, and I need help. I don't know what's wrong." He wakes for a second but then goes back to sleep. However, the last bad night we had, I lost it and yelled at my partner. I was so angry I couldn't think. My partner wouldn't wake up to help, so I yelled at him and woke him up out of a dead sleep. I instantly regretted it because he looked frightened. After I said, "I've been asking you for help, and you won't. I can't do this, I'm tagging out," he got angry. He called me a rude ass for yelling at him. He said, "I'll just get up then," with an attitude, and yelled at me because I went to go cry in the bathroom saying, "Oh God, don't be like that. I'm not asking a lot. Just help on the bad nights and the moments that I need to tag out for safety." However, I feel guilty I got angry with him. I know we each have things we do for jobs, and his isn't easy either. So am I the asshole for getting angry and lashing out about the lack of help during bad nights? Trust people who have kids to let you know that the first 3 months are a real trudge for everyone involved. It's important to reach out for support, whether it's contacting the hospital for specialists or leaning on friends and family. Sometimes, friends can step in and provide much-needed relief, giving you space to rest and recharge. Ultimately, seeking help and not trying to do it all alone can make a world of difference. Am I the jerk for disinviting a friend from an event after they gave my ticket to their sister? Back when Eras Tour tickets were released, my friend Sadie said she would grab us tickets and I would pay her back. We made concrete plans, and I was excited. I have been a Swiftie for years but have not seen her live. I had to sell my Reputation Stadium tour tickets back in the 2010s because my mother was dying, and I needed the money to help pay medical bills. I booked the hotel. This past weekend I was having a little get-together for a bunch of friends, and Sadie was, of course, invited. At some point, she pulled me aside and told me that she had news. She is leaving in September. I was heartbroken. We have been friends for years, and I love spending time with her. I got weepy, hugged her a bunch, and said that we needed to get all our thrifting trips in over the summer and hang out as much as we could. Then she broke the news that, as a way to bond with her sister before she left, she was going to be taking her to the Eras Tour instead. I did not know how to react. She stood in front of me and Venmo'd my payment back. She said, "I know you understand." I said that this was a sneaky move and honestly really awful of her, and I do not understand how or why she would do that to me. She got defensive and said that they were under her name and that she did not owe me anything. I said, "Yes, they are your tickets. Legally, you can do whatever you want. But this is still a really awful and sneaky thing to do to your friend, knowing that there is no way I will be able to get my own tickets at this point." She just kind of shrugged and said, "Sorry, but I figured you'd understand." I asked her to leave and told her to please not come back for the 4th of July party next week. I said I needed to process this and that I am really disappointed with her and how she has treated me. This is a girl who I consoled through breakups, job losses, pet losses, etc. She looked shocked and asked if I was serious. She ended up stomping off and leaving and texted me later to tell me that she is around if I want to apologize for making her feel bad about taking her sister on a bonding trip. I am honestly heartbroken that I am going to be watching my knee show on a grainy live stream instead of being there in the stadium with everyone. I was looking forward to this so much. I checked the resale sites and had a sad little cry about it. I am wondering if I am completely wrong to have just uninvited her. Is that too far? If it was in, say, a month or two, I do not think I would have. I just need time. Nothing you have done here makes me think you are the jerk here. She agreed to buy a ticket on your behalf with the understanding that you were paying for it, so it was your ticket, not hers to give away. This wasn't a case where she offered an extra ticket for sale and you jumped in first. It was specifically for you. The instant you paid for it, it was your ticket, and her behavior was genuinely shitty. Am I the jerk for booking a vacation for my birthday and not inviting people who weren't included? My mother has a timeshare, which she has had for about 13 years. My boyfriend, now husband, and I are the only ones who have used it. I am turning 40 the week before Thanksgiving, and my mom and I have been discussing and planning a vacation for quite some time. Previously, we planned a vacation for her 60th birthday, but COVID-19 happened, and the country we were going to shut its borders. We settled on Mexico, but she was diagnosed with cancer, so we put that on hold. Then, at the end of spring, she said her doctors approved her for travel, so we started planning again. The timeshare hotels in Mexico were booked, so we pivoted to Hawaii. We found a hotel, picked dates, and confirmed with my brother, husband, daughter, and nephew. Previously, my husband said his mother did not want to go to Mexico, but since we changed plans to Hawaii, she wants to go. I informed him that we do not have enough room in our suite, which only holds 6 people, but we could possibly book a separate room for her and whoever she brings. A couple of weeks went by, and I realized the rooms were booking up, so I called my mom and we booked. My husband asked me if we had enough points left over to book his mother a room. The answer was no. He also asked if we could have booked her a separate room while on the phone with the timeshare representatives. The answer was also no, as they do not book Hilton regular rooms. He was upset. I immediately pulled up the hotel to see if we could book a room for her, and it turns out that hotel is timeshare only. However, there are other hotels within the same Hilton resort zone that do have rooms. He does not want to go now unless his mother is in the same hotel. I reminded him that she originally was not even invited. I had no problem with him inviting her, but neither he nor she ever asked. I'm happy for her to go, but it is ridiculous for everyone to cancel plans for someone who did not want to go in the first place. We were at dinner and drinks during this conversation. He put $10 on the bar for his drink and left, as we were in separate cars. Am I the asshole? Sounds like mother-in-law only cares about the Hawaii trip because it's a free vacation, and it's pretty clear she wasn't interested until she heard about it. It's unfair to expect your family to subsidize her trip, especially when it doesn't seem like she genuinely wants to spend time with all of you. Your husband should step up and either book her a separate room with his own points or talk to her honestly. This trip should be about celebrating with your side of the family, and mother-in-law can join another time. Am I the jerk for not getting my stepdaughter a big sister gift? I've been married to my husband for 3 years. He has a daughter from a previous marriage, Callie, who is 7 years old. I ended up pregnant around the same time as my husband's ex-wife, Callie's mother, Stepdaughter. She gave birth 2 months after me. We didn't talk much about it. My husband and I did talk to Callie about the baby. We read her books about it and assured her that she'll always be our family and that we love her. We emphasized that this baby is an addition to our family, not a replacement. I know Sandra and her husband had a similar talk. We validated Callie's feelings on the subject. I had a baby shower and Callie was there. She also attended her mother's baby shower, which was held after mine. Many people at that shower got stuff for Callie as well as the baby, which I thought was sweet. No one had gotten her anything at my shower, but my friends and family always do on Christmas and her birthday. This was a party for me and my husband, so I didn't think anything of it. After all, we'd never expect anything on her birthday or any other celebration for her. I had my son. Callie was super excited to meet him. She brought him a teddy bear that my sister-in-law had taken her to get for the baby. My sister-in-law, who is my husband's sister, kept hinting at whether there was a gift for Callie. I didn't think much of it at the time. Then, Sandra had her daughter. My sister-in-law bought her a bear for Callie to give. Sandra and her husband had a ton of gifts for Callie to celebrate her becoming a big sister. Again, very sweet, but I didn't think much of it. My son is 3 months old. When Sandra was dropping off Callie the other day, she asked to speak to me privately. She asked why I still hadn't gotten Callie a big sister gift. I said that I didn't know it was expected. Sandra said it's normal. She kept harping on the subject. Finally, I snapped and said I have enough going on. Callie doesn't need a gift. This is about my son. We will celebrate Callie on her birthday and whenever she has a big event. I'd never expect someone to get something for my son when those events happen, as that'll be about Callie and not him. Now, some of my in-laws are mad at me. My husband agrees with me that we didn't have to get Callie anything and has told Sandra that. To be clear, Callie hasn't said anything about this. She didn't hear the argument or anything. According to Sandra, she's expressed extreme disappointment. We haven't had any issues with Sandra until this point, and I don't want to rock the boat, but I also find this whole thing ridiculous. In my opinion, you have done nothing wrong here, but for a 7-year-old with divorced parents who both had babies within a few months, it's a nice idea to make her feel special too. The attention shift is drastic, and it's never wrong to make a kid feel valued. Maybe plan a special outing just for her and her dad so she doesn't feel ignored. Even simple things like a spontaneous trip to get ice cream can mean a lot to her. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.